Lord Way, welcome to the CT Sports Talent Show. My name is Christopher Saunders, and please have on with me a senior from Bethel. DeAndre Farmer's with me. My guy, appreciate you coming on.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You and I were just talking about the SWC and how deep it is. Everybody
Yep.
talks about the CCC. I mean, I talk about it a lot. I mean, in the top
Mhm.
15, top 10 alone in game time, a lot of the teams are a part of the CCC. I think a good percentage of them. But
Yeah.
the SWC, you and I were just talking about Prep and Bunnell and you guys and so on and so forth. And Weston, I mean, there's a lot of teams. Weston having a fantastic year that I don't think a lot of people were expecting, you know?
Yes. Yes. That is true.
So, but yeah, man, I think the SWC is one of the better conferences that should probably be getting a little bit more discussion. You
Yep.
guys in particular, you guys are in Division 3. I think you're
Mhm.
15th right now at 9-7. You've been pretty well tested this year. Take me into that a little bit as far as your guys' season.
With the Kobe win, we made it 10-7 actually.
Okay.
So, but there was a couple games where we were just fighting through adversity. The couple games where our games didn't go our way. But we didn't let that affect us. We know that like there was more to the season, and that we needed to just keep moving on and just get better day by day and just improve and put that in the past and just know that with the new opportunity that we're gonna get, we won't let it go to waste.
When I think about the progressions of a season, right? There's so many levels of it. I've always said there's 3 seasons. You have the before the winter break with New Year's and all that. Then you have the post, which is the new year. Then you have the postseason, right? Now, when you think about just the conference tournament and then the state tournament, the different levels of emotion and everything that goes into that. I don't know if you guys have kind of looked into that potential conference play just yet because you still have some games left to be played.
Yep.
But have you considered what the basically, I guess, what this team could potentially be? Because it seems like there's still a lot left in the tank.
Yeah, yeah. We haven't we looked into it. We definitely looked at into it a little bit. Not too much because we know that like we want to get the games now, get those games that we have left, make sure those are definite W's, and
Mhm.
then look into the states and the conference playoffs. But looking at it, we just know that this is a big opportunity for us and to show our talent, and we want to don't want it to go to waste, and we want to play our hardest and play as a team and just make sure that we put everything on that court.
Take me into kind of your growth as a player. I mean, were you always on varsity? Did you play JV, freshman? I mean, what was that like at Bethel?
So, I never played JV.
Mhm.
I've been a varsity player since my freshman year. I mean, I will say my freshman year, I was at Abbott Tech. I was a little bit on JV, but
Mhm.
I was mostly double rostered. But that was only because our JV team didn't have that much JV players.
Mhm.
So he was like, "Hey, you're gonna be a varsity player, but like we're just a couple games where we might just want you to play, need you for here." So, but mostly my entire life, it's really been varsity only.
At what point did you feel like, as you were kind of playing through, over the course of your starting now for, full 4 years, did you feel like the game started to get comfortable for you?
Well, I would say the game got comfortable for me, maybe by my junior, maybe going into my junior year.
Hmm.
Um, so when I was at my other school at Boys Latin, prep school, where I was actually, um, I was ranked in Maryland, the state of Maryland. I was 89th in the state and 16th in my position. In the state of Maryland. I was going through a little adversity my sophomore year. And then we got a new coaching staff going into my junior year. And
Hmm.
then and going into there, I think that's where I like into the games. I felt a little bit more loose. I felt a little bit myself and confident. And then I think that's where everything started to help me, and that's where I gained confidence.
So originally, you're not from the state of Connecticut. You were from Maryland. Is that what you
So,
just
so,
said?
so I'm originally from Connecticut,
Okay.
but after my freshman year in high school, I got a scholarship to go play at a prep school in Maryland.
Okay.
So yeah, and then I was a boarding student there for 2 years. Um, and then I ended up coming back down here for my senior year, because I had a little injury with my back, and it was so I wanted to. It was a good opportunity. It was a better opportunity to take care of my health, down here at home rather than being up there.
How was it playing up there? Different style of ball?
Way different style. There's a lot. It's a lot more physicality.
Mhm.
Um, the fast pace. It's a lot. It's just nonstop. It's just people, athletic people, a lot of 6'7", 6'9", 6'10", 7 foot, just easily, just they have it's a lot. It's really different compared to Connecticut.
So what you're saying is kind of like walking Donovan Klingons, right? Just
Yeah,
that,
basically,
yeah.
yeah. And there's a lot of there was, I know there was like a couple players that we played against that there was one player that we played against. He was committed to Rhode Island. He was committed to Rhode Island. There was another player that's actually at Illinois right now. Um, and then there were some other players I remember that they weren't basketball players. They were mostly football players, but they were just so athletic that it didn't even like you couldn't even tell they were football players. They were like you could tell that like, because they were like 6'6", like 225. One of them was committed to Georgia, and they were just brolic and just athletic.
So we'll be seeing that kid for Kirby Smart next year.
Yeah,
Jesus, that is a big boy. So
yeah.
when I think about that, are you able to kind of take your experiences from there? I feel like that's had to help you when, once you came back down here for your senior.
Mhm.
It had to, right?
Yeah, so I know I like coming down from like Maryland to here, and
Mhm.
I knew the competition was going to be way different going against guarding people that are like 6'6", way bigger than me. I know that coming down here, I wasn't gonna let the competition. I was gonna play to a high standards, even though the competition is lower.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm gonna like I will make sure that like, hey, just because it's not as good as Maryland doesn't mean I let the gas off easily. I still go ahead and just give 110% every game and every time.
Well, you think about the conference that you came back into. You've got Kobe, who's a perennial top 10 team every year. Prep
Yep.
has been very good when they were Notre Dame Fairfield and then became Notre Dame Prep. They're
Yeah.
always consistently in the top five. Benell's coming off a Division III championship last year, and both
Yep.
of those kids came back, including I think Pierce, who had his 1,000 point just a few
Yep.
days
He just had
ago.
his 1,000 points the other night.
Yeah, so like it's even though maybe the competition, like you said, may not be the same par as Maryland, as far as the teams and the coachings that you're going to be going up against and have gone up against this year, you're seeing the best of the best each and every night, if not pretty
Yeah.
close.
Yes. It's definitely.
You know, when I think about kind of now as we enter towards the later portion of the regular season, only like I said, a couple games left.
Mhm.
What is your guys' kind of focus right now heading into the games that you have remaining?
So with our two league in-game conference, we have tomorrow going against Stratford, and then Thursday against Newtown. That's senior night. We're just making sure that those are definite wins, going playing as hard as we can to get a good seeding in the playoffs right now.
Mhm.
So I know that if we win our next two games, that will be the fifth seed. And so we're just looking to just make sure that we just go out there and just kill and just get every 50-50 balls and just play our behinds off.
How rowdy does Bethel get in that gym? I've never been there. How rowdy does it?
I would
Fan
say,
testing.
usually when it's like against Kobe, it was a very wild game. Um, when it's like when comes down to the wire,
Mhm.
it's a crowd gets up, gets in there, gets really into the game. A little chirping going on from our crowd to their kids.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's good. It's big.
Is it fair to say that it's almost like having, like when the Seattle Seahawks are playing, they have their six man, which is the people in the stands because it gets so loud. Is it kind of like that at Bethel?
A
How
little
loud?
bit. Not too much, but yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Have you like has your team been able like I didn't look at your home road splits, but do you feel like you play better at home or on the road, or is it about the same? I mean, what kind of team do you guys have?
Um, I would say, based off the home and away, I would say I think it's maybe about even. I would say it's good even. I prefer to play home.
Mhm.
I mean, like everyone says, home court advantage. And I mean, I love our rings. I love them a lot. So, but I would say yeah, it's about even, about even.
Now you said you love the rims at Bethel. What's the difference between Bethel rims and Benel rims? What's the difference?
We'll say Benel rims. There's nothing wrong for Benel rims. I think it was I know their backboard was like very low, so it's like it's easy to just like get up and just do anything you want. But I think since being at Bethel, well, practicing there and just I think I'm just so used to the rims that just
Mhm.
it's just second nature for me.
Is it true? Because like I know when I play baseball, and then obviously in conversations I've had with other athletes, no matter what the sport is, there's if it's a gym or a football field or a baseball field, there's always something different. Baseball could be the mound, could be the batter's box, and football could be obviously grass or turf or the way the turf was made, or there's like a house right next to somewhere that affects the light, some crazy stuff. In basketball, you like we were just talking about the rims or the backboards. Is there, or maybe like the backdrop behind
Yeah.
where the hoop is? Is there anything in particular when you go into the gyms where are you looking at, okay, that could give me a problem, that could give me a problem? Are you thinking about that when you're in the gyms or no?
No, not at all. I think my motive going in that game is how can I help my team win?
Mhm.
That's my number one priority right there. Worrying about winning and getting just doing anything that's possible to help my team win. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't say I look at the rim, just be like, how is this gonna affect me? Nah, I don't think I would say that. I would say, yeah.
Okay. Conference play, how many teams get in? Is it, I know in the NVL where I broadcast, it's the top eight, and then obviously if you qualify for the state tournament, you qualify for the NVL tournament, and then there's
Mhm.
a playing scenario. Is that the same thing for the Bethel
Yeah, so
Conference or
it's
no?
the top eight out of 14. So it's the top eight right now. So right now we're the sixth right now. And then depending on how our next two game goes, we can be fifth.
Really? So that big of
Yeah.
a pretty decent jump.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And then as far as the state tournament goes, have you guys even thought about that yet? Or are you just focusing just on conference right now? Do
I would
that.
say as of right now, we're focused on conference, a little bit of states. I know with the Kobe win yesterday, I know it wasn't updated right now. It has us at 15, but I
Yeah.
think with the update of the Kobe win, we should jump to like 13th or something like that. I
Mhm.
know that we talked a little bit because if we win our three games, we would have a home court advantage. So we talked about it a little bit, but we've mostly been worrying about the regular season and then SWCs really.
What can people, as far as with what you've done, because I've seen some of the stuff that when I've been tagged in, I see the amount of points, I see the rebounds, I see all the stats, and it looks really good. Is that kind of something that's been your style this year? Have you been putting that up every game as far as those points and such?
Just about, yeah. I just know that like whatever how my team puts me in the best position to just let me score. So I think my team allows me to do that, puts me in that position, and the coaching staff as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they allow me to do my thing a little bit, but also play the right way. So not just do anything, just throw up crazy shots, which is not my game style at all. And I always want to like look for my teammates and all stuff like that. So I would say, yeah, I mean, putting up a good around those numbers for, throughout the season.
DeAndre, best of luck as far as what you have for the rest of the regular season, the conference and the state tournament. Maybe I'll see you guys down the road.
Yep.
Because I broadcast for NFHS too. So maybe I'll see you guys for the quarters of the semis. Who knows?
Hmm.
But
Yes,
keep
sir.
doing what you guys are doing because it's been fun. It's been real fun.
Yep.
That wrap things up here on the CT Sports Talent Show. Next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connected Talent. Find them all. Enjoy your day, everybody, and be well.